We are back. It is week 10 of the NFL. We had a very nostalgic week 9 of the NFL. We had a vintage Matthew Stafford throw to beat the Seahawks, and Garrett Wilson put on the catch of the year, which people are arguing. Some are saying better, if not very close to Odell Beckham Jr.'s catch with the Giants. The original kids are going to grow up saying they Garrett Wilson instead of Odell, just like they're going to grow up.
Other people are saying it wasn't even a catch at all. So
True, yeah. I mean, he got his shin down apparently, but it's kind of like saying Steph Curry instead of Kobe. You know, it's got a little nostalgic. The Lions are an outdoor team. We learned in week 9, but we're on to week 10. What did you guys learn from week 9 of the NFL?
Yeah, the square bettors keep winning. The favorites covered 10 times out of 15. They were 10-5, which is an insane clip. Kind of scary going into
13-1 straight up. Not a lot under. The only underdogs to win.
I think 14-1.
Yeah, because the Chiefs. The only underdogs. Panthers were, yes.
Yeah, I think that was the only one.
Panthers were the only underdog to win straight up. Everyone else 1-10 covered.
Yeah, 10-5 against the spread.
That's insane.
That's pretty wild. I hate that. I learned that I hate New York. Justice for Brian Branch and Peanut the Squirrel. That's all.
Yeah, R.I.P. Peanut.
R.I.P. It's a good take. We got a lot of good takes to get to here this episode, but we're back for week 10. We're going to get right into it. What do we love this week, Cobbs?
Yeah, so I'm going to stick with the trend and stick with the square bets. I love the Vikings -4 at Jacksonville. You know, we saw last week that Brian Flores defense continues deceiving mediocre offenses, and Jacksonville is no different. They had a nice kind of comeback showing last week from the controversial Saquon fumble, helping them out to backdoor cover against the Eagles. But the Vikings offense is also humming against a bottom 3 Jags D. You got Hawkinson back. I just don't think 4 points is enough here. I think it's Minnesota by a touchdown. So I'm going to stick with the Vikings, stick with the favorites.
This one's in Minnesota or Jacksonville?
It's in Jacksonville, but there's usually not weather there.
Yeah, I mean, Jags are just not good. I can't believe they made that Eagles game close at all, but Vikings are a much better team.
Yeah, there was a point I thought they were going to win, actually. I was kind of hoping they would because it'd be fun.
Yeah, they could have.
Fuck the Eagles. But
they do get sneaky hot at weird times, and you always kind of get sussed out by it. It's weird. I love the 49ers -5.5 at the Buccaneers this week. Fading myself worked last week, so I'm running it back. I like the Bucs spread, so I'm going the other way. Really, this spread screams Bucs, considering that they've just played every team close, and the 49ers haven't really looked like themselves. But I mean, they've done a really good job of stopping the run. They're also 4-1 after the bye in their last 5 years under Shanahan. Bucs are still without their top 2 pass catching weapons, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I mean, I really think it comes down to just stopping Cade Otton, and which is kind of a crazy. I never thought I'd be saying that. Control Cade Otton to win the game, right? He looks great. But yeah, stop him and then contain Baker's scramble ability. I think they have this game in the bag and can win by a touchdown.
Yeah, and also, isn't there potential for McCaffrey to play?
There is, but I do really think they're going to rush him back. I just don't know if he can really.
It's week 10. Are they rushing him, or is? I mean, I don't know.
I think he's going to play. Shepard.
I think he's healthier than people think, but
Schefter's been saying he's going to play for a couple weeks now. But either way, I mean, that 49ers, you know. Off of a bye, too. They had a bye last week. If McCaffrey's back, they might ease him in. They're dirty with the injury report, as we've learned in the past. But there's one thing I know, Baker Mayfield, he is a competitor. The immaculate teaser hit last week. We capped it off with an easy, no-sweat cover. Buccaneers +14.5. But yeah, Clark, I mean, against 49ers, if you're fading yourself, love that. I'll take that all day. I actually love the Steelers +3 this week. So the Commanders, I think the last 2 games had some easy/lucky wins. They beat the Giants, not a great team, and they obviously had the Hail Mary 2 weeks ago against the Bears. They've snuck out some wins, but Mike Tomlin against a rookie quarterback, especially with how Russell Wilson's been playing, he's 2-0 as a Steelers starting quarterback. Give the Steelers 3 points against the rookie quarterback. I'll take the Steelers +3.
Yeah, I think that's a good underdog to take. With the trends of the last few weeks, I want to take underdogs. I feel like there's going to be a week that turns the opposite. So that's one.
It is making me scared to take all the square bets. So I mean, it's
I think that's a good fade the public type play.
Right. Even on a Tuesday, as early as it is, it's election day. We got a lot going on, but fading the public this early, Steelers +3.
Fading Washington on election week.
Whoa. That's big brain stuff. This is stuff you don't get anywhere else.
We might not know who the president is by the time this comes out Friday morning, so.
Won't that be fun?
Why is that, Clark? Can you
with other things?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Why is that? This is stuff you don't get anywhere else, folks. All right. This is why you tune in to Lock It In All Day Media. But we're fading the Washington Commanders during election week. We're taking the Steelers +3. But what are we locking in this week, Cobbs?
Yeah, so I'm sticking with the opposite of what I just said. Back to my first pick. I'm locking in the Bills -4 at Indianapolis. I think the Colts are just burning their season by making a point. Benching Anthony Richardson, I think last week clearly does not give them a better chance of winning. Joe Flacco looked like a disaster. I will say the Flores D, like I mentioned earlier, has been deceiving everybody. And the Sean McDermott defenses are not much different. He continues to put out top 10 units. They've also got a top 10 offense, or top 5 offense, absolutely humming, looking to get Amari Cooper back as well next week. This is another one where it's 4 points. I think it should be more like a touchdown. They're just top to bottom a better team than the Colts.
Yeah, Flacco did not look good last week.
He was horrible. Horrendous.
Great week to start him in fantasy. Love that.
I did that.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm locking in the Falcons -3.5 against the Saints. The Saints are in shambles. Normally, I like the fired coach, team plays better narrative, but there's just no sugarcoating the situation. They just traded away their best corner in Marshawn Lattimore. Meanwhile, the Falcons are hitting their stride. I think Bijan's going to be able to run all over him. It's going to open up the rest of the offense. This one's not complicated. I'm just taking the better team.
Dude, Alvin Kamara not scoring against the Panthers and Bijan Robinson not scoring against the Cowboys was the most insane thing that happened last week. I think, if anything, I'd love the Falcons -3.5, but Bijan is so due to score a touchdown.
Yeah. I think he's going to run hog wild. It's going to be a big week for him.
Yeah, Olave probably out too. Alvin's going to get fed. I think they both score to make up for last week.
Why did the guy who hit Olave not get ejected, and why did Brian Branch get ejected? I mean, Olave's had so many head injuries.
Why did Peanut the Squirrel and Fred the Raccoon get executed?
This fucking country.
New York. That's why.
What I do know is that Peanut the Squirrel did not deserve to die, and that the Chargers are covering 7.5 points against the Titans. Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert are finally clicking, and the Titans, I mean, they did beat the Patriots on a last second. Well, I guess they went to overtime with the Patriots, and Drake May ended up throwing an interception to end the game. But I think that they are going to have a delayed hangover against the Lions. There was that stat where the team who plays the Lions gets blown out the next week. Well, when the Titans get blown out against the Lions and then they play the Patriots next week, it's kind of like a bye. So this week, they're getting blown out against the Chargers. I'll take the Chargers -7.5 in LA. Harbaugh and Herbert are finding their stride.
Yeah, I think Herbert's like back. I mean, Quentin Johnson's running wild. Josh Palmer finally got in the end zone. They got everybody working over there. And their defense is like, I think they were allowing 13 points a game this season.
It's low. I think it's less than that.
It's number one in the league for sure, points allowed.
Nice. Love that. I'm locking it in. And as a matter of fact, I'm locking in the Chargers -7.5. Cool. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube, and make sure you're doing all that stuff, because we're beginning to think that this is a waste of time. Some people are saying, I don't know who, but like, subscribe, and watch this goddamn video. Okay, so moving on, we're getting propalicious. If you've been watching this show, you know that Dylan Clark is hot. Dylan Clark, who did you have scoring a touchdown last week?
Oh, Devon Achan.
And Devon Achan, he got in, easy money, no sweat. We're not going to switch it up, though. Cobbs, who do you got this week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to change the mojo for Clark staying on the heater. I had Josh Allen last week get called back. I was actually like typing out a text to you guys to be like, Josh Allen, I'm back. I'm called back. But anyway, this week, we're going to Munich. Beak Neighbors. He's averaging 10 targets, over 10 targets a game. He's kind of due. He hasn't scored in a couple weeks. Obviously, he had that one get called back against the Steelers that everyone was talking about. The Panthers are bottom 3 across the board. Pretty much everything to do with their defense, points, total yards allowed. They're last and second to last. Someone's got to score points. Who's scoring points for the Giants? Maybe Tyrone Tracy, too. Neighbors is due. Neighbors gets the targets. He's a beast. He's going to score.
I like it. That game is going to be the worst game of all time.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to just wake up in the third quarter and be glad you didn't watch it.
I've
You'll have
never
cashed for your $100 Malik Neighbors anytime touchdown.
easy money. Wake up to money in the bank. I like it. I mean, he does get so many targets. Plus, Darius Slayton ended up not getting traded, but yeah, Danny Jones, he doesn't have a lot of weapons to throw to.
I like that too because he was bitching about the play calling from half to half, and so you got to hope that with Dayball basically losing them games because their defense has actually kept them like late in games, like against the Commanders last week. They've got to change it up at least a little bit, right? So I like that. I'm on TJ Hawkinson this week to score a touchdown. This is it's for the matchup. The Jags have given up touchdowns to tight ends against the Packers, the Bears, the Colts. And Hunter Henry was also the leading receiver when they played against the Patriots. Those are, I think, 4 of the last 5 games they played. They're just giving up numbers to the tight ends. TJ Hawkinson, the second game back, I like him to score a touchdown.
Yeah, I love that. He is a tight end, or he's a red zone fiend, that guy, when he's healthy.
Yeah, I agree, too.
So last week, we had the catch of the year with Garrett Wilson. And today on the McAfee Show, Aaron Rodgers said that Garrett Wilson has the most targets in the NFL, coming from his own quarterback. We're going to go back to the well, Garrett Wilson to score a touchdown. I think Devontae Adams takes a lot of pressure off of him. Like I said, he gets the most targets in the league. And Cardinals pass defense, they just let up touchdowns against wide receivers. So Garrett Wilson get in the end zone, I don't see that missing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Devontae Adams' presence has actually elevated Garrett Wilson. Like
who would have thought?
Yeah, I mean, he's like more productive than, say, Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. R.I.P. to a real one. So the Immaculate Teaser, it is back. And I think, honestly, this Immaculate Teaser, shout out everyone in Lock Boys in that group chat, except for Cerna. That's the longest standing group chat that I've been a part of. I mean, anytime that you want to see some good stuff going on, it's a great group chat to go into. Shout out everyone but Cerna. The Immaculate Teaser, shout out the Immaculate Teaser. One last week, we're going back-to-back this week. Cobbs, let's kick it off with the Immaculate Teaser.
Yeah, in honor of not Cerna, I'm going to take
everyone but him.
The Chargers -1.5 against the Titans. We already talked about this one a bit, but the Chargers defense, like I said, number 1 in the league in points allowed, less than 13 a game. The Titans, so they're number 1 in the league in yards allowed, but they're like near the bottom of the barrel in points allowed. So they find a way to give up a lot of points. Part of it's because their offense turns the ball over a lot. Jesse Minter defense is going to be able to exploit whether it's Mason Rudolph, Will Levis, whoever's playing. They're just an inferior team. You can buy it down to 1.5. There's a reason they're more than touchdown favorites, the Chargers. So take them to win.
That's a lock. And where does Cerna live?
Yeah. We're fading Cerna's team. Exactly.
We're fading the Tennessee Titans. The Immaculate Teaser is off to a great start. Dylan Clark, what is your contribution?
I'm contributing the over in the Rams-Dolphins game. It's over 44.5 points at the time of recording. Game's in SoFi, so no need to worry about inclement weather. Both offenses are at full strength. Both defenses are giving up about 24 points per game. Since Tua's been back, I think people have seen the stat that they're scoring points, but their defense is just letting up more points. Meanwhile, Stafford is just a scary dude when Kupp and Puka are healthy. And they put up 26 points when Puka got ejected in the first quarter of the last game.
Yeah, definitely first half.
First or second quarter, whatever it was. I like both these teams to be able to put up points. I think it'll be a fun game on Monday night. So over 44.5.
Very fun game on Monday night.
That smells like fun.
Love that. To cap off the Immaculate Teaser, shout out to the New York boys. Your football team fucking sucks. We're going to Munich, taking the under in the Giants-Panthers game. So set your alarm clocks. Malik Neighbors will score a touchdown, but there's really not going to be a whole lot of points scored. This is, as Clark was saying, it's kind of like a punishment for World War II that America is giving Germany this football game at 9:30, so we don't have to watch it. If you tease it, it'll be under 47.5. So, again, just two real bad offenses, and the Giants didn't actually sell. Their defensive line is still cooking, so they'll be able to get pressure on Kyler Murray's twin, Bryce Young. And I don't think they're scoring 27 points, let alone 47. So, hammer the under, and that teaser is immaculate.
Yeah, and the Panthers sold off another receiver, so they're back to Leggett and Adam Thielen. I think Adam Thielen's back. But
yeah, no, it's the Leggett and Coker show.
Coker, that's right. Yeah, all the cokeheads are rejoicing right now in Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, so it is Friday, if you're watching this, and today is Tuesday when we're recording this, we may or may not know who the president is of the United States by this time, but we will know what the locks are if you're watching this for Sunday, Week 10 of the NFL. Thank you for tuning in to episode 2.10 of Lock It In, presented by All Day Media.